Good morning, students. In earlier class, we learned that increased wind speed is always accompanied by a reduced air pressure. Also, we learned that air moves from the region where the air pressure is high to the region where the pressure is low. Again, we observed that greater the difference in pressure, the faster the air moves. But how are the pressure differences created in nature? Is the difference in temperature involved? Let us do an activity. Take a boiling tube, stretch a balloon tightly over the neck of the tube, pour some hot water in a beaker, insert the boiling tube with the balloon in the hot water. Observe for 2 to 3 minutes for any change in the shape of the balloon. Take the tube out, let it cool down to the room temperature. Take some ice-cold water in another beaker and place the tube with the balloon in cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. Observe the change in the shape of the balloon. What makes the balloon inflated when the boiling tube is placed in hot water? Why is the same balloon deflated when the tube is kept in cold water? We can infer that air expands on heating and gets compressed when cooled down. Let us do another interesting activity. Take 2 paper bags or empty paper cups of the same size. Hang the 2 bags in the inverted position on the 2 ends of a metal or wooden stick. Tie a piece of thread in the middle of the stick. Hold the stick by the thread as in a balance. Put a burning candle below one of the bags. Observe what happens. Why is the balance of the bag disturbed? Does this activity indicate that warm air rises up? As the warm air rises up, it pushes the bag above the candle. Does the disturbance of the balance suggest that the warm air is lighter than the cold air? Can you now explain why smoke always rises up? Remember that on heating, the air expands and occupies more space. When the same thing occupies more space, it becomes lighter. The warm air is, therefore, lighter than the cold air. That is the reason that the smoke goes up. In nature, there are several situations where warm air rises at a place. The air pressure at that place is lowered. The cold air from the surrounding areas rushes in to fill its place. This type of uneven heating on the earth leads to wind current, and it occurs in 2 situations. First, uneven heating between the equator and the poles, and second, uneven heating of land and water. Let us discuss the first situation first. You might have learnt in geography that regions close to the equator get maximum heat from the sun. The air in these regions gets warm. The warm air rises and the cooler air from the regions in the 0 to 30 degrees latitude belt on either side of the equator moves in. These winds blow from the north and the south towards the equator. At the poles, the air is cooler than that at latitudes about 60 degrees. The warm air at these latitudes rises up and the cold wind from the polar regions rushes in to take its place. In this way, wind circulation is set up from the poles to the warmer latitudes. Now, let us discuss the second situation. In summer, near the equator, the land warms up faster, and most of the time the temperature of the land is higher than that of the water in the oceans. The air over the land gets heated and rises. This causes the winds to flow from the oceans towards the land. These are monsoon winds. In winter, the direction of the wind flow gets reversed. It flows from the land to the ocean. The monsoon winds from the oceans carry water and brings rain. It is a part of the water cycle. Clouds bring rain and give us happiness. Farmers in our country depend mainly on rains for their harvest. However, it is not always a happy ending. Rains often create problems. In nature itself, there are certain situations that can sometimes create disasters. And pose threats to human life, animals, and plant life. In the next part of this chapter, we will learn about such situations. So students, before leaving, let us sum up what we read in this chapter. Uneven heating on the earth is the main cause of wind movement. Winds carrying water vapor bring rain. For this class, that's all. Thank you.